All right. So sorry for
looking
Facebook.
more saucy, absolutely.
Sorry for Facebook over here.
So okay, I know that we have Washington State, Brighton, UK. Hi, Chrissy. We have Houston in the house.
What's
we
going
have
on?
Vienna in the house, guys. Okay, I was saying, guys,
Hey there,
if you
everybody.
just joined, type in where you're joining from.
Yes, please.
So the Living
On
Opera
Facebook.
community can know where everybody is.
Where
Hi,
is
Chris. We have to talk
everybody
on the
from?
telephone.
Ho, ho,
sometime.
ho, ho, ho.
Not just like this where
Let's
I talk
do it,
at
let's
you.
do it. Hey, hey, hey.
I've leaned completely into the Montana look.
I'm wearing denim. She's wearing...
I'm wearing your dad's
that.
jacket.
That's right.
It fits really well. Yeah, Vienna, Ilya, and Claire are in Vienna. Chrissy is in... We got Quebec.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Montana look.
I forgot one
I know.
thing.
I'm a bit like... Maybe I'll buy some of this for myself. I don't know. We'll see. Right? That's funny.
Yeah.
Cool. Tallahassee, Florida. We were just there. Thank you. I did my makeups today.
I forgot one thing.
Okay, you've got one viewer there on Facebook. Hello.
Hello.
Person on Facebook.
Yes.
So guys, we have a couple of things we're going to cover today. We have thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. That helps us in the Instagram algorithm.
We
awesome.
appreciate it.
Oh, we have Portugal in the house.
Awesome.
In the house. That's
if you
how
can
we
tell
say
us
it,
on
where I come
Facebook
from.
where you're joining us from, that would be awesome. I have a couple just advertising notes at the very beginning of this process.
Advertising.
Number one, today we do have, again, Arrowhead Water.
Oh, yes. People are
Arrowhead,
looking
if you're watching this,
Heart Nation. I see it.
I'm telling you, here we go. Your water's great.
Yeah, they're definitely
Then,
watching.
Catherine, how are
Hi,
you?
Catherine. Hi.
What's going on?
We've got
And then, of
Catherine
course-
in the house on Facebook.
That's right. And then, of course, I've added a layer today, which is A&W root beer. And the A stands for awesome, and the W stands for wow, this is good.
Yeah. Steve's from
And
British Columbia
so,
in the house.
if for
Yakima,
some
Washington.
reason,
Boom, boom, boom.
Fernando, how are you, man?
Hi, Rafaela.
If A&W happens to catch this, and
Yes.
you're saying to yourselves,
I've always wanted to get into opera.
how do we find an opera singer that could sponsor A&W
no,
root beer?
they sponsor us.
Well, how can we sponsor
An opera singer?
an opera singer?
Well, I think
A&W root beer, there you go.
I think that what would be really cool is that if A&W Root Beer sponsored Living Opera, I keep on talking about this. You guys think I'm just being nice. This is like serious life goals for me, that I would be in the position to buy everybody's contracts that got canceled. You all think I'm joking. I am not joking.
I'm not joking. I mean, I haven't even said anything and I'm not joking. So what do you think about that?
So A&W share this
Boom.
broadcast.
Bam, bam,
You
bam,
know,
bam.
if anybody knows anybody in marketing in A&W,
Hi, Tyler.
just let us know.
How are you, man? Yeah, exactly. Welcome, welcome.
Y'all, it snowed in Montana.
It snowed.
I'm not feeling this.
If you saw my video, you saw that it snowed. That's snow light. That's not normal light. You can't. I don't think. Can you see?
Light, snow bright.
Snow light, snow bright.
I'm hating this
Hey,
so
hey,
much.
hey.
It was
Okay.
sunny and super nice. You like it, Chris? Come visit us in Montana.
Yeah.
Fun.
Well, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Um.
So, let's go. Let's go this way.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
Nailed it.
When
with
this
the
is
singing.
over, we're gonna make it happen.
That's right.
Houston style. We gotta go to
Yep.
Houston. We gotta go to San Antonio. We gotta do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right. So
Norman,
now we just have a couple things that I wanted to cover first.
Yes.
Before we got into some of the questions that we had. Do you want to build a snowman? I don't.
No, that's a culture. It's a pop culture reference. It's okay.
Oh.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Well, I'm the
Don't go
wrong
there,
person.
Guys. Don't go
I'm the
there.
wrong person.
Don't go there, guys.
Yeah. So anyway, no, I had two things that I wanted to cover. Then we're going to get to the questions that you had. And first of all, I wanted to check in because the last time, for those of you who were here, I think I did it in the wrong order last time. I should have started with the challenge and then answered the questions. I see you in good shape. Let's see what is this about. All right. Thank you very much.
It's okay, Anna. It's okay. It's okay.
What happened?
She's like, because you don't know that reference. It's all good.
Oh,
So tell us about your
Good.
challenge. Well, tell us about the
Yeah.
other challenge. Positive poor connection. No way. That is evil.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go back.
We just kicked off on Instagram there, so now we have to check. Hey, Susan Bullock, how are you? Are you well? Are you safe? How's it going? Where are you?
I am not feeling that.
Vittorio, ciao. Thanks for being with us today.
Hey guys, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, it popped off there.
Persnickety,
Andrew
Montana.
Cloud, hey man, how are you, buddy?
Montana, Wi-Fi's. Hey,
That's right.
Hi, Adriana. You're back.
Back.
Wait, what's that background? Turn your.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Like our music.
We have
where we do
like
stretching and like meditating
and
stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
I just forgot that it was on. It's like.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to start with. Oh, hey, thanks for watching in Houston. How is Houston doing? And anyway, so I wanted to check in on our challenge from Tuesday's live. I actually think I did it backwards. I should have started with the challenge and then gone to the questions. So for those who didn't hear what the challenge was, my challenge to myself and then to all of us in this, it's just a crazy time. We can't even talk about it or understate the craziness. But the challenge was that I just said, think about this. And I challenged myself, I challenged us, and anybody that would want to take this on. Hey, Gabe.
Hey, guys.
The challenge was that greatness always calls you higher. And you can think about any artist that you love, any singer that you love. You can talk in any facet of society. Greatness always calls you higher. So it says come on up here with me, and so it gives you things to aspire to, gives you something to aspire to.
Yes.
And so my challenge was this week. Let's consider how basically in the way you think higher, in the way you study, go higher, in the way you practice, go higher, in the way that you think about your relationships and your friends, your colleagues, go higher, in the way that you think about people that you disagree with or who greatly disagree with you, go higher.
Yes.
And that was the challenge. So I just wanted to check in. Gary Kessler, how are you? Laura, how are you?
I have my heart squad on Instagram.
Are they heart squatting over there?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Oh, I thought I waved at Laura. Boom, there we go. Anyway, that was the challenge. So first of all, I want to check in with us for anybody that heard that part.
Yes.
And if you didn't, that's fine. But how are we doing with that? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to. That's fine.
You can answer.
Or you can. That's fine too. And then the next one that I had for today, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be doing this every time we do a live. These are just things that have come to me.
Come to you as you're thinking
in
about
this,
the situation.
we're in this chaotic situation. There's a lot of fear. There's just a lot of things. Misinformation. You got all kinds of stuff flying around, and people don't know exactly what. I think we now kind of know what to do. If nothing else, we just get in our houses.
Yes.
And but anyway. But the next thing I had for today, the challenge for today is fight. There are a lot of people who are afraid. There are a lot of people who are, trying to figure out what's going on. And some people may be saying, I'm actually fine and I am not, that afraid.
But
and that's
so she's trying to go higher as she interacts with her family. That's,
awesome.
That's
great.
Go higher. Go higher right where you can go up right where you are.
Exactly.
It's really good.
And the fight is we fight to stay positive. We fight to stay in touch with our families and our friends, to be able to reach out.
Yes.
And sometimes, with what's happening in the world, there's so much fear and there's just so much going on. We have to fight to stay positive and to stay active. Hey, Jed, how are you, man?
Yes.
And to stay active in coming up against that stuff.
Yes.
And so my challenge, again, this is for myself, this is for us, this is not just, it's the challenge to fight to stay positive, to stay active in your communities,
Yes.
wherever you are. We had the good fortune of being on a phone call yesterday with some really interesting people
Yes.
that don't work in our business, who work in other sectors. They work in, some of them work in well, I won't say what they do.
You can say what they do.
Can I say what they do?
Of course you can.
Some of them work in agriculture, some of them work in government, some of them work in
U.S. government,
UK government.
I Stu. We had
Stu, how are you?
We had somebody from Jordan.
Jordan was on there.
Who was working with refugees.
Exactly, and so we had the good fortune to be on this kind of a conversation yesterday, which is kind of amazing that we were there. But anyway, we just basically sat and listened. Although at one point we did sing.
Yeah, they asked us to sing
something.
Grace,
we sang Amazing Grace for them, so we did.
Or there was also two gentlemen who have businesses, and they were talking about the acute need in rest homes for the elderly.
Exactly.
Because right now the elderly are shut in,
isolated, absolutely, completely.
Oh, thank you, Stu. And they need encouragement, they need help.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to we're going to see if we can't coordinate a project for Living Opera. If we do that, we will let you know, because we'll need some of you guys to help.
Yep.
But you'll be able to help from your own home.
Yeah, it's not about going to any,
to make that
obviously.
Happen.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of needs in our communities. I've heard it, tremendous, best Zoom song in history.
Oh, thanks, dude.
How did you hear that? Of course you heard it. Oh, I know how you did that. Okay.
But
go on, Norman.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean.
So, okay, but for people
anyway.
who just joined, we had a few people just joining on Instagram. On Tuesday, Norman issued a challenge to our community, which is to
greatness.
What greatness does. Greatness always calls you higher. It never presses you down. It always pulls you higher.
Yeah.
And so we had a go up challenge.
Mr. Cordell, how are you?
So today, Norman has another word for us about fighting against the fear, fighting against the feeling of, a lot of people I think also feel like they feel helpless, like they don't know what to do. And that's fair enough. And that's when leadership, any person who's in any kind of leadership, like
anywhere,
we're in some ways we're in leadership in our
own little sphere, just like and you are too.
Yeah.
You are in a place of leadership. You can adopt an elderly person online. It's got, that's fun.
Oh, great.
That's great. That's really cool,
awesome.
Tyler. Thank you for that.
Okay,
yeah,
so,
that's good. Hey, Matt Bear, what's going on?
There are things that we can do.
Yeah.
And there are things that you can do. I have one of the people here on Instagram was saying that because she has been very fortunate, her income hasn't been affected as much as other people. She's been making a concerted effort to buy from local businesses.
John McVeigh, how are you?
Norman and I personally have continued to give to the charities that we give to. We're not stopping. Just offering to pick up groceries for your elderly neighbors is already a big help.
That's true.
Sometimes there isn't anything to do but stand still and be open. Yeah,
that's true.
And then you'll receive an assignment.
Debbie
Somebody
Parker,
will say, "Hey,
how
would you
are
come
you?
be on my team?
It's good to see you.
Would you help me?" And what I was very encouraged by with this Zoom meeting was that so many people who are in serious leadership. I mean, we had U.S. government officials, UK members of the Parliament, things like that on this call, and we just were there like flies on the wall.
Yeah, we may never be there again. We were there once.
No, but remember being there on Sunday. We're invited on Sunday too.
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's nice. Fine.
I'll update you. What I loved about that is that these people, right now we're in a time, this is just a bit of a tangent, where people are very suspicious of their elected officials, and rightly so. There's a lot of weird stuff.
It's crazy.
But these people, what was so sweet is that these people were just being themselves. They weren't in their official capacity. They were just having a conversation with other people who are trying to make a difference right where they are. Like Bonnie is making a difference right where she is and her family. And I was so touched by that because you could see the vulnerability, you could see the desire to make a difference, and not even necessarily knowing exactly what to do because we're in an unprecedented moment.
Nobody knows what to do. Everybody's trying to figure this out.
It's a day-by-day process.
Right.
So
anyway,
I wanted to interject
That's
that.
good. And another thing, we talk about fighting, and this brings up the thing. We want, one of the goals that I have for myself as an artist, as an opera singer, and just in general as a human being, we want to be problem solvers.
Absolutely.
We want to be people that do our best to look at an issue and try. Now, I'm not talking about getting out of our lanes. That's a different subject. But within our own sphere of influence and within what we can do, is to try and provide answers to problems. The best we can, or at least support for problems, support for the people who can answer the problem. And so that's been one of my goals for quite some time now. And that's the challenge today. So we kind of have two challenges going on at once. We've got greatness. What is greatness? What is greatness calling you to today? And then it's calling you up. And then also, Lars, what's going on, buddy? And then to fight, to be able to the best you can. And like we said, we're all trying to figure this out. We're all working on it, and we're doing the best we can. So that is
yes.
That's just that, and that's the point, is that we support one another. The communities that we support one another to help try and achieve these things and to better our communities.
Absolutely.
And it's incredible that we have this technology that we can reach out now.
Absolutely.
In a time that's, hey Pam, that's just is so insane. So anyway, those were the two challenges, kind of 2.5 if you add the problem solver thing. So
these are ongoing things, and also for those of you who are
ongoing.
in the private Facebook group for Living Opera,
Seth,
we're having
what's
another
up?
discussion. I think we're actually, I posted this on the public page, but also in the private group, about the future of opera. And of course, we kind of don't know. I mean, we're also assuming things will resume and come back to normal. But I think that this situation and this experience will mark every industry. I believe there are going to be amazing innovations discovered in this time. There will be advancement in this time because people are extremely industrious. People are extremely resilient. Yep. So in the face of crisis, we're going to discover amazing new things that we wouldn't have discovered unless we came under this kind of pressure. Now, that's not to diminish the
that's not to be glad that this is happening.
People are going through, but that's just to say this is another perspective.
We have to try and turn that.
This will happen.
Yeah.
And Norman and I were asked before this happened to participate in a new project that I've shared with a couple of you about what that is.
What is it?
And first let's stop and use our minds. Hello, Andreas. Hey,
Andreas, what's up?
So Norman and I were asked to be part of a project to define the future of opera.
What a hilarious question to ask us.
So hard. We were like, we're unqualified for that. And we knew who else was involved in the project. I was like, are you sure you want us?
Yeah.
But in any case, part of it is because we do have this project with you guys, with Young Singer Community, and you guys are the future. And so who better to ask than the people who will take up the mantle, after we're all retired.
Exactly.
And I've really had major writer's block on this situation. Neither of us have really. Normally, if either of us takes into a project, we kind of flow in it and it goes quickly. But this particular project has been so difficult, and we've both had major writer's block. And I think part of it is because we are in a major shift right now in every sort of industry. And so trying to define. Are you kidding me? My thing is just acting so bad on Instagram right now.
Yeah, Instagram just kicked us off again. Here we go.
Gracious. Many opera companies have their own
this is a good
subscription
idea.
services.
That's right.
What if all the performing arts, ballet, opera, theater came up with a collective Netflix situation? Well,
Hey.
actually, there is that is available on Medici TV.
They do that, yeah.
Norman and I worked with them last year. Hey,
gang, Chris.
We worked with them last year when we moderated for them, and they are called like the Netflix of classical music.
Yeah.
So
we just need to find ways to expand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, it could be it could be good to have something like that in the United States to really prop up the American cultural institutions that are so amazing and so resilient.
Thanks for being here. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
guys, sorry, Instagram is like, Mark Zuckerberg is okay with this part of it, but not okay with this part of it. No, it's our internet connection. We're in Montana, and we don't have Wi-Fi yet. We're getting it.
We're
this
working
weekend,
on it.
So
We're working on the
haven't
Wi-Fi.
been able to make any YouTube videos or anything, or
Yeah,
post
exactly.
anything, or update our website, or anything. It's been quite challenging. But, in the scope of what's
We'll work it
happening,
out. In the scope, it's
not
kind
really
of
a deal.
a big thing.
But anyway, I'm so sorry this keeps on getting cut off. But basically, sorry on Facebook too. I really get writer's block. I have the feeling my moods and opinions sometimes shift several times a day. Yeah, hello, Celia.
Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to lock down what you're thinking.
Well, I think
I
get something, and then it's like there's a new development and a new conversation. And there's so many conversations happening in every sector of our industry right now.
Which is really great.
Yeah.
It's
They
really
were conversations
great. There are
that needed
tons
to
of
happen.
conversations. It's just a shame
but-
that it takes a situation
Yes,
like this
but it's often,
to create the
that's
conversation.
often how that is, you know? So
Exactly.
we are in the middle of that.
Yep.
I have reached out to some of you in the community to share your thoughts. So some of you have done that on the private Facebook group. Some of you emailed me. I appreciate that so much because it's not just what we think about it.
It's what we have to find kind of a collective thought.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that is like, it shouldn't be controversial, and it probably sounds obvious, but I'm just going to say it and then like leave it there. Here's the number one thing that has come to my mind when I'm trying to define the future of opera. Opera is entertainment. That's all. Bye. Just think about it for a while.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, do you want to go into your questions?
Yeah, sure. Or not think about it, by the way. You don't have to think about it. But it's definitely interesting. So, hi, Carrie. What's going on?
Oh, awesome.
Yes. Hello. What's going on?
Thank you, Instagram people, for coming back.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
sorry
you all
this
for
keeps on
watching.
happening.
Yeah.
I was literally just about to say that, so opera
There you go.
entertainment.
Yeah. Yep.
Hashtag
Boom, boom, boom,
controversy.
boom, boom. There. Eric.
There's that dude.
Hey, Eric. Along with Andreas. Did Andreas come back over here?
No.
Oh, okay. I have to find him. Eric, you and I need to have a talking thing.
It's like this thing where there's a phone and you dial the number.
Which is
and
my
then-
fault, not yours,
Yes.
by the way.
Okay, Norman, get
That's on
into...
me. Okay, now, so
we did the challenge.
We did
check
the
mark.
challenges.
Talked
we
about
did
the future.
those.
Check mark.
We did that. We were like,
You're
let's
welcome,
think
Celia.
about this. Now, we're going to talk. We, like I say on the post, we asked if anybody had any questions
Yes.
about anything, and we got technical questions. So that's what we're going to answer the best we can.
Yes.
For those of you who
Let's just do one, and then let's just talk to people who are actually
yeah,
here.
we're gonna do one question, and then
Instagram. I can't even handle this.
Instagram is not working with us.
Instagram is not my friend right now. I can't get over this.
How are you?
It's really weird.
That is so. This has never happened before. This
How are
this
you?
is never. I mean,
All right, Instagram. This is like the 4th time.
when has this ever happened before? Never.
Never. There you go. All right. We'll see if somebody will come back. But anyway, so we're just going to answer just one technical question, and then we want to talk to you guys if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any ideas, if you have any feelings, whatever. Are people coming back?
Yeah.
Hi again, Instagram.
I'm like over this. I'm over it.
All right, so this is what we need to do then. We need to talk fast.
Okay, you guys are
so
so
let's
nice.
talk fast.
No, this time it's gonna work. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
This is like beyond.
Hey, Zach. What's going on, buddy?
I'm
How
glad,
you doing?
I'm glad y'all are here. Okay, well, Facebook. Thank you
Facebook
for
is
bearing
doing
with
good.
us.
Thanks for bearing with us. Instagram, we're letting
y'all,
that kind
what
of
is happening?
it jumped off, so now we're working it back out. So anyway, the question, we got some questions. For those of you who are just joining us on Facebook, we were talking about a couple challenges that we had for this week about greatness, about fighting, being problem solvers in this crazy time. Hey, Michael, love you too, man.
Thank you for coming back on Instagram.
Thanks
I'm
for
over
coming
it.
on.
Okay, so you're
but
going to
now,
answer a technical question, and then we're going to open up the floor to you guys to
ask any questions you want. So, what questions should we answer? We had a few, so we'll pick one,
Okay.
and then we'll maybe that one.
Let's talk about high notes. High notes.
You want to talk about high notes?
Everybody always wants to talk about high notes.
Okay, so we'll just talk about a few things with high notes, and about the question was basically, how do I keep from taking too much weight up there?
Yes.
When I go up. This is our particular opinion. Hey, Michelle, how are you? What's going on? This is our particular opinion. So for those of you who are not interested in technique at all, I apologize. But we're only going to answer one of these, and then we're going to move on and talk about other things. So, but So the question is basically how to approach high notes without taking too much weight up. What I would generally say to that is that as a general rule, as far as approaching the top without getting too heavy, certainly it's anybody, but certainly as males for sure, but it's anybody.
Yeah.
The track or the tube or whatever you want to call that, how you define that.
Yes.
It needs to narrow. That's what the passaggio's for. So there's the narrowing, and that relieves, there's that rebalancing of pressure, the rebalancing of weight, and so the track narrows, and then that allows you to not take up too much.
So how do we make the narrowing?
If you, this is one of the reasons, this is a particular...
Oh, snap. We'll talk later, Gabe.
Yeah, there you go. Gabe. But one of the things that you can do just really quickly, naturally, I mean, obviously you're doing it in exercises. They'll be set up to do this. And most of the time with your teachers, when they're taking you into the top, they will give you exercises that narrow the voice as you go up.
Right.
Hey, Sandra, how are you? But one of my particular, it's kind of a theory of mine. Part of it's the writing, but there's an aspect of it where the German language, the French language in general is more closed. So you have a lot more closed vowels, which are naturally, if E and U have the lowest laryngeal positions, those closed vowels are closer to those two positions. So there's a lightness that comes with those vowels, and there is an actual lowering of the larynx that comes to those vowels.
It's okay, Norman, go ahead.
Anyway, now you may have to figure out how to manage those with the proper position, so you're not over closing or doing certain things like that. But that is definitely one of the things you can do. If you're talking about an exercise or two that you might try, there's going up the octave on A, E, I, O, U. And also what I would say, whenever you do any exercise that takes you up into the top, number one, you want to think about narrowing, so maybe tailor the vowels to allow your voice to do that. And then number two, when you first start it, do things that are faster. Don't do elongated exercises up there at first. Do exercises that allow you to go up and come down, and go up and come down, and go up and come down, so that you're not having to sustain the weight. You're going up through, you're finding the connection, but you're not necessarily having to organize or coordinate all of the weight of your voice all the time.
Right.
When you do really slow, you need to do those too, but when you're doing those slow, it just adds more weight. Naturally. It naturally adds more weight.
Come on, Instagram. Okay.
Well, Instagram is just letting us down.
Yeah.
Should we move it closer to the window? I wonder if that
No.
means anything.
I don't know.
We can try.
We'll just keep on here.
Okay.
People can jump on from Instagram to Facebook.
Maybe
It's
make
fine.
a thing over there that
I
says.
will. You keep on talking.
So anyway, those are the things that, I mean, and then there are two exercises that I like to use for that, which is just on an ah vowel, which is ah. Practice maintaining scuro in the mid and upper part of the range when you have it naturally in the lower. That's a good question, Tyler. Part of it is, in my personal opinion, when it comes to that, you want to build up. Obviously, you're building to a homogeneous track of the voice, right? So you're building towards, okay, how do I sound like it's all one instrument, all one voice, going all the way up and coming all the way down. That's the goal, right? But we as singers know that it's far more difficult than that. So I would say that when you start, you have that lower part of the range, and you feel like you have that kind of the scuro there. Then look at, okay, how do I get that? How do I track that into the middle part of the voice? And start then so that you're basically building up the foundation from the bottom up. So if I'm going, if I pick an exercise, people have heard this before, it's a really annoying one, but I'll do it anyway. I'm sorry. But if I go, ya, 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 and whatever that is, okay, so that's the bottom part of the voice. What I need then is, because for me, when I get to C sharp, D, I'm a tenor, and so when I get to that part of the voice, I have a small passaggio that happens there that I need to start to send the voice, because voices naturally, at least I found this for myself, let me put it that way. My voice wanted to go that way. It wanted to go, Tobias, how are you? My voice wanted to go forward and kind of out. Well, we don't want that, because we need height, right? We need squillo, we need that chiaro. But how we achieve that, we need a certain direction of the voice. You probably know all this, so I apologize if I'm just telling you things you already know. But so what happens? So when I get to C sharp, I've got to start directing the voice a slightly different way. So I can't and so there's a it's not a turn, it's not like you're up in your upper passaggio. It's not like you're in your upper passaggio and you need that, there's that, and again, people define this and feel this 50,000 different ways, but that covering or the turn or the seal or the closure or the whatever else you might call that, it's not that big of a thing, okay? It's like the voice, you have your column, you have your tube of sound. Ya 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 ya. Ya 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 ya. Ya 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 ya. I mean, it's literally like I feel like what I just shown with the ba 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 ba. It's not ba 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 ba. And that actually directs the sound more that way. And it still sounds, it's very present here. I don't have to worry about that. So I would suggest starting at the bottom and then moving up into the middle. Start there, wherever. I don't know if you're a baritone, if you're a tenor. I don't know your voice type. Forgive me, Tyler. Please let me know. But wherever that, young Ben, hello.
Just let me do it, Norman.
Thanks. But that's where I would start. I wouldn't start going from bottom. Okay, I'm going to go way up. No, don't start there. Build that. I mean, that's what your voice is. You're building your voice. It is a structure. It has a foundation. It has a structure to it all the way up and down. So when you're training, I mean that's what training is. It is the building of your voice.
Yeah. And
so a bass baritone, awesome, good for you. How old are you? Because you've got it's bass baritones is fantastic. You guys have like 80 years. It's the best. So congratulations, that's awesome, buddy. I'm glad you found it helpful. I hope that does help. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can DM me or whatever. I'm happy to help if I can. So anyway, there's that. I hope the thing about how to take more weight up for high notes was helpful. If it isn't, feel free to DM me about that, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. So now that we've done that, are the people from Instagram gone?
I just put a thing on the stories, and I was like, I'm over this. Come to Facebook.
Barry Banks, what is up, buddy? How you doing?
23. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, 23. Oh, crap. That's okay. Trust me. Just be patient, because the payoff, don't worry.
It's all good.
It's much better down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry.
And don't be surprised if your voice changes at 30.
Well, yeah, the voice is going to change.
Yeah,
it's
but
good. It may. Yeah, it's going to change, and you want it to change. It's great. Don't let people tell you it's bad if your voice changes. Hopefully, nobody says that.
No, but often there are times that there's a lot of like oh, what's happening to your voice? And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm 30.
And
And
you're like,
then people are
"Oh,
like, interesting.
interesting.
Because
That's a whole other.
Anyway.
That's all our conversation.
That's
Anyway,
another conversation.
So,
if there are there any questions?
And if there-
Otherwise,
yeah.
we're gonna have lunch.
mm-hmm.
And
But we wanted to open up the floor
yes.
to the
Unfortunately,
group.
all of our little Instagram
All little
folks
Instagram
are not
folks.
there. So
It dropped
It's
out.
sad.
That's sad. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, if you have any comments, then please jump on there. If you don't, then we will let you go. And remember the challenges for the week. What is greatness calling you to do? It's calling you to go higher.
that's right.
And then to fight. Find ways to fight what's going on. There's so much fear. There's so much angst. There's so much just stuff flying everywhere. Fight that, find the best way you can to fight that fear and fight those things. And, for us, it's trying to figure out ways that we can help our communities, to help one another,
That's right.
to help other artists, but not just artists. We don't want to be just insulated, right? We don't just want to be insulated in our own communities. We want to help and shore up and fortify and lift up our community so that we then go out into other communities and help them too, right?
That's right.
So that's what we want to do. We want to find ways to expand. People talk about the art form. People talk about what's opera going to do. Well, part of what it's got to do is find ways to expand in the communities.
That's
find
right.
the way to expand to people who may not know what it is, who probably don't know what it is, and find ways to reach out. And
Yes.
it starts by helping one another.
Yes.
Starts by helping one another. So those are the challenges for the week. We hope this was helpful. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
And we wish you guys be careful, be safe, be well, stay in your houses, wash your hands. But at the same time, reach out to your neighbors the best you can, your families, your friends, your communities.
That's right.
Find ways in our current situation. So we're not saying go outside and do things. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't misunderstand. But find ways to help other people. Find ways the best you can. And we all are limited in how we can do that at this point. But there are also still lots of ways. So thanks again. Have a great day.
Yes.
We will see you soon. And we love everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.